Hey all, welcome back to the channel, and today I am kind of excited because I'm getting a chance to look at this guy. It is the new Kingdom Rhinox, and I've heard such mixed things. A lot of people say this guy is not good, and they cite the lower legs as the primary cause. We're going to take a look at him next to the original Thrilling 30s. I'm going to let you know my take. I'm going to let you know also what Starscream Wife said. There's good, bad, and ugly here, and we're going to cover it all in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe while you're at it, light 'em up, baby. And hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is in the description down below, also in the description down below. And if you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube. Become a channel member, baby. And this is Rhinox. There's good and bad here. There's no doubt about it. It is not perfect. But there's things here that it does much better than the original Generations version. And there's things here that it just doesn't do as well. It's going to be a mixed bag. So without any further ado, let's head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And so here we are with Kingdom Rhinox, and I'm both excited and nervous about this review because I've heard a lot of things about this guy. Enough that it makes me think that T30 might be the way to go, but we're going to see how things shake out here. Of course, we're going to do as we always do and begin with a quick look at our packaging first. Which means we take everything else out of it. We have a rhinoceros down here, we have Rhinox over here, our typical Kingdom artwork over here, and of course our product images on the back, as you would expect. And of course, our ever popular collector card. This one, when you pull it down, it's Galvatron. A big old bunch of instructions, and it's kind of funny. If you don't already know what to do with the legs, then I don't feel like these instructions do a great job of showing it. If you already have an idea of what to do with the legs, and I'm not going to say no, because there's nothing intuitive about it, but if you have an idea of what to do with them, then this actually does do a pretty good job of showing it. It's so strange. And we have two of these nicely painted Gatling blaster things. They're small. I'm not going to pretend that they're not. And unfortunately, they don't actually rotate. Here it is next to the Thrilling 31, which is significantly larger, but they're both on Voyagers. Oh, and this one rotates. I think they look pretty good in his hands. I will admit that I think these look better, but I think that the other ones function probably better because there's just more to them. If you don't want them in his hands, I'm happy to say that you can use a port on the side of the backpack, and you can just slot it in right there. That works just fine for me. I'm happy with that as storage. I was afraid there wasn't going to be any storage. I'm going to take these out of his hands for now, and we'll sort of just get the guy stood up there. I'm going to lay these aside. And now we need to start kind of giving this guy some scores. First things first, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is how this guy looks, especially when put next to our Thrilling 30s counterpart. Man, it's hard to say. Honestly, there's an argument here on both sides. On the Thrilling 30, one could argue that the browny, beigey, taupey color that he is probably should have been darker than what it is. Outside of that, the gold is pretty much where it should be, maybe a little bit more up on the shoulder. The lower jaw is on the front of his body with gold and silver coloration. We even have the maximal symbols on the side of his head. I mean, he's about as good of a Rhinox as you could probably want, at least in terms of looks. So that brings us then to the Kingdom. The Kingdom has like this brighter otter green color that I wish was darker. He doesn't have the maximal symbols on the side of his like forehead. The forearms are pretty good. The gold is generally where it should be. Honestly, if the Thrilling 30 in terms of looks is a solid 9.5, then I think that the Kingdom is a solid 9. It's not quite as accurate, but it does have a look that is very much Rhinox as well, and it's certainly passable. Neither one of these is bad. In terms of the looks departments, they're fairly comparable for different reasons. I give the edge to the Thrilling 30s, but that's just me aesthetically. Starscream Wife actually prefers the Kingdom and thinks that the Kingdom overall looks better. So, solid 9 for the Kingdom 4-star. What about the articulation? That's where the Kingdom really kind of shines. So we have a head that goes left and right. It looks up, it looks down. The arm can go all the way around. It can butterfly out, butterfly back. It can go all the way out. We have a little under 90 degrees at the elbow, but I'm not surprised. Bicep swivel, so honestly, on the Kingdom so far compared to the Thrilling 30, we have, you know, a comparable head, honestly. We have shoulders that are comparable, but I feel like they're more solid on the Kingdom. The elbows are comparable. The ability for the arm to go all the way around is comparable. So far, no real edge given there. There is a waist here, a little bit hindered, but it's going to get you what you want. The leg pieces move if you want them to move. The thigh goes out, I don't know, like I guess if you move the hip pieces, maybe you can get it even further. Thigh goes out, I guess, to there. Like, I guess you could do splits kind of to there. Taking those back. Leg all the way forward. Leg goes well back. Thigh swivel? Yeah, thigh swivel. We have a knee over 90 degrees. Nice deep knee. We do have super deep ankle tilt. And the foot is all one piece. And here's where the big advantage to this guy comes in over his Thrilling 30 counterpart, because this guy has the ability much better to stand up. When you try to do that with the Thrilling 30, because the toe is different, and there is a little bit of an ankle tilt on the Thrilling 30 as well, just not as much. But I do find that, and I just knocked him over, but like when you try, he stood up then. Usually I find the Thrilling 30 doesn't like to stand up as well. Now, I gave the edge to the looks to the Thrilling 30. I'm giving the edge to the articulation to the Kingdom. So, are you more concerned about looks? Are you more concerned about articulation? They both do comparable things with articulation, but like with this guy, you know, the leg can go all the way out to the side. The knee is a little under 90 degrees, so, I mean, a deeper knee, right? The hips are so loose on this guy though, like they're so loose. That's the real thing with this guy, is the loose hips. Oh, man, they really, really kind of hurt him. Now that being said, if that's not a big deal to you, and my hips aren't that loose, there's an argument for keeping him. The transformation for the Thrilling 30 I think is pretty good. What about the transformation for this guy? Okay, so he's got a 9, and for the articulation, we're going to say a 9.5. 9.25 so far. Then we get to the transformation. And for the transformation, we open out the arm and we fold in. Open out the arm and fold in the wrist, close up the arm. Open up the arm, wrist in, close up the arm. Then we pick this up over, and I'm just going to bring it down over there for now. Then we have the chest that opens up and closes in because it's a false lower jaw, and it goes inside of the chest. Then this is when things get interesting. So we bring the shoulder forward, and then the whole shoulder assembly kind of comes back in under the head, but you can only get it back like so far. Same with this one. And then you got to bring the shoulder head a bit more, and then you can sort of squeeze it in here a little bit more. It's not hard, it's just, and I don't even want to say it's cumbersome, because it's not. It's just you got to make sure that you got the shoulder out so that this can go in. And of course it doesn't want to do it now on camera. There. And then that can just go down, and we turn the foot forward. And over here, same thing, really. Bring that up, push that in, bring this down, push that in, bring this down, and turn the rhino foot forward. And that's the front of the body of this guy. Really done. Of course, that's the easy part. Then we get to the legs. Whoo, buddy. Okay, so a couple of things to know before we do anything with the legs. I'm going to get those kind of out of the way. Can I? Yeah, I can even angle them up like that. These pieces here, I'm going to just take them out like that. I've had one of these even fall off. I don't like these. I'm not going to lie, I do not like these. Then we open out the legs, and we bend at the knee. All of the instructions, I guess I should say. The leg pads should come kind of as forward as they can right now. And then we begin to bring this up. Now this is when things go sort of sideways for this guy. So we bring this up, and I tend to even bring that up so that it's done. Then we need to get this past the knee and get it up like that. And then we're going to want to turn it. You gotta get it past this green knee nub. What an uncomfortable nuisance of a movement to do. And it's not intuitive. I've heard people say, like, once you do it once or twice, it's pretty easy. No, it's not. Not for me. I don't find it pretty easy after doing it once or twice. We take this out, rotate it around, bring it all the way up. We take this out, rotate it around, bring it up. And again, same sort of thing. What we basically want to do now is get, okay, see if I can show this. We want to sort of fold this down and get this out to the side while also getting this foot in. So maybe we'll do the feet first. Let's do the feet first. So the foot goes to the side, down, and then in. And there is a little tab right there that goes to a little notch in under right there. And same thing, bring this down, bring it in. Both of these feet will end up going down under this rhino back section, basically. So that'll start to come down, and that'll start to come down. Then we got to deal with this. And I wish I could tell you that there's like an easy answer to doing this, and there's not really. You just have to be uncomfortable and feel like you're going to potentially break something if you want to get it past. And is there a strategy to it? I'm sure there is. Do I know it? No. I can't say as I do. It's very wish and a prayer, honestly, for me to do this. Bring that down. There. Out to the side. I do find that if I have the leg pretty much bent up, it's easier. So same over here. We have the leg pretty much bent up. And then that can come. You see how I got to get it just a pass right here? That's the part that flexes that I don't like. Getting it just a pass there. Okay, once you have this done, next you need to line all of this up on the side, and you got to get this little section in underneath. This is a nuisance and doesn't like to do it. I do find I need to put my finger up behind it to try and get it in. Plus these need to go under here. It's a lot that needs to line up here. And I think that's why people get frustrated with it. So we will bring these back down. We will put those feet in under there. Line that up there. and line it up on this side. You'll notice I do not have this section lined up yet. Then on the back, I find it's good to line that up as well. Now we need to do these sections here on the side. They are a nuisance. You got to sort of angle them down, and then I find if you can do it, you got to kind of angle it down and then angle it out and get it up and underneath. It should look kind of like that when it's done. What a nuisance to do. Like that, and bring it out. And you do have to angle it up under, but it's not fun doing it. Once you got that done, and I'm going to have to clean that up, you close these over on the back, and then honestly, all of this then goes like squeezed together. I can't do it from this distance, so I'm going to have to do the kind of squeezing everything together here to clean it up, and we'll have to look at it then. And with everything squeezed in, finally, here we have both Rhinoxes. This over here is, the only thing that's bad about that transformation is those legs. It's uncomfortable. The upper body is simple, but those legs, man, they are not at all intuitive. They're not comfortable. Honestly, I'm after doing the transformation now a good 10 times, and I still really wouldn't be able to tell you exactly what hinge is moving or how it's moving. I really don't know. I know I have to get it past that green knee, and it makes me uncomfortable every time. This guy, a lot of people have complained about his transformation over the years. I've done it a billion times, that's why I find it easy. Whereas Starscream Wife preferred the look of the Kingdom in robot mode, she prefers the look of the Thrilling 30 in Rhino mode. So both of these honestly are a toss-up. The transformation of the Thrilling 30 is probably about an 8. It's all right, but it does have some things that need to tab in, and it's got some panels, and it's a bit of a nuisance that way. The Kingdom, it has those legs, and I don't know why they use green hinges up here. The way the shoulders are done, maybe I could show it here, is you have like the whole green thing, and then this green part is hinged on. It's like this flat part is what is this shoulder piece. Why they couldn't make this flat part gray, or whatever color you call this, gray I'm calling it, so that this is gray to match in, I don't know. I think the green was a bad thing there. I do find it kind of jarring. The transformation of the Kingdom is probably around an 8, maybe. He was getting a 9.25. Overall, he's about an 8.5. It's an all-right Rhinox if you don't have this one. If you have this one, do you need to upgrade? You don't need to. If you want something that's going to be a little more solid on the shelf, like able to stand a bit better, then the Kingdom might be the way to go. If looks and a great Rhino mode and arguably an easier transformation is up your alley, this guy's still gangbusters. If having a more solid stance, possibly a little easier like to animate or articulate, then maybe this guy's up your alley. They both are successful in different ways, and they both fail in different ways. Neither's perfect, but both are pretty great. Okay, and here we are once again, and here he is. And what do I like? I like the look of the robot mode, other than the head. The head looks soft to me. I like the head of the Thrilling 30s one better. I do like the gold paint on this guy, as well as the wealth of other paint that's on him. I wish that we had a little bit more on his legs and on his forearms. I may end up coloring that in myself. We'll see. I do wish we had the maximal symbols on the sides of his head, as they should be. And it's really weird that you can't really turn this lower jaw around. I've heard of people popping it off and putting it back on, but I'm not going through all of that. The articulation here is much better actually than the Thrilling 30s. Not that the Thrilling 30 is bad, but the loose hips on the T30 is real rough. This guy, I mean, the hips are solid. The knees are solid enough, but you know, if they start to go back, they're going to go back, but they're solid enough. I wouldn't say they're loose. Let me put it to you that way. The arms are tremendous. I love the articulation on them. Though the elbow is slightly limited, I do adore this butterfly, man. I think that's tremendous. The head is all right. Then we have the transformation. Oh, man, the transformation. What a bit of a fiddly mess. These side pieces, a bit of a nuisance to deal with. The lower legs and the way that they unfurl is fine, but that one section where you have to kind of get it to pass the knee, I'm never ever sure how to move that, and I am scared of breaking it off every time I do it. I don't think the lower legs were engineered particularly well. I think the Thrilling 30's lower legs are actually quite better. But, you know, the coloration here generally is really good. Starscream wife likes the robot mode here better. She likes the Rhino mode of the Thrilling 30 better. If you could find a mixture and a melange of the two, I think you might just have an ideal Rhinox for the main line. Anyway, all that being said, let me know what you think about the Kingdom Rhinox and which Rhinox fits in your Beast Wars collection the best. I appreciate you coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube. Become a channel member, baby. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you right there, you do make a difference. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way, baby, right here inside the videos.